Bonjour. Today we're going to review the chapter 2 test. It's look like that for the first test, most of you didn't spend enough time on the test because in fact I can see how many minutes you spend on the test. So you have 90 minutes to do a test. You need to use a fair amount of it. Also, it's also look like you are not using the video that I record during the lesson. So again, that I can record that. If I have a 20-minute video for the lesson chapter 2, for example, and the student just spent 5 minutes on this specific page, I can see that you haven't listened to the video. And then what's happened, you don't listen to the class, and then you don't do very well in the homework, and then the test is not great, and then you are complaining. So I'm gonna ask you for every single student who got below 90 for the next test to use your book, but to use it, okay? So everybody who got under 90 for the test chapter 2, I'd like you to use your book. And also, I'm going to go through the test with you or something very similar to what you're going to have for the test. Everybody should have a good grade, okay? I have been doing that for a long time. If you listen to the lesson, if you open your book, if you do your homework properly, if you don't go too fast, you're going to be just fine. Again, for the homework, I can see there is a log, and I can see how many minutes you spend on each question. I can also see if you switch between page, if you go to Google Translator and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things that I can know and how you do your test. And then when you complain, but I see that you didn't play the game properly, I kind of make me laugh a little bit. So chapter 1 is done. I think everybody got a proper grade because I was very generous and very nice. For some of you, I gave you a chance to redo it. Chapter 2, I'd like everybody to have a good grade because I know it's doable, okay? But for that, don't forget, you need to look at the lesson. There is a video for each lesson, and there is different screenshot of what I will be talking about. But you need to listen to the video because I give you stuff that are important. For example, the verb to have. Only one student conjugated the verb to have in one of the exercises for the previous test. The question was, answer to the question using the proper form of the verb to have, which is avoir. Only one student did it properly. So I'm a little puzzled here because I'm like, either you cannot read the question or either you just don't care. But if I ask you to conjugate the verb to have, you should know the verb to have. If you don't, find it out, okay? When I gave you the second chance, I told you you could use your book. Some of you still did not conjugate the verb to have. And that's not going to work very well with me, okay? So if I ask you, if I tell you, yes, I'm being very nice, you can use your book and you can redo the test, and you still don't know how to read the question, there's not much I can do for you. Okay, so I'm going to show you what the second test is going to look like. Okay, listen carefully and open your book, please, when you do the test if you got under 90. Okay, thank you. So it's going to be this one. Okay, so you're going to have, just like for the test number 1, you're going to have 2 listening parts. Listen it more than once, okay? And don't guess, because if you guess, you're going to get it wrong. Listen carefully, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. You're going to be fine. Take your time. Am I doing those? You're going to hear me talking about activities where playing soccer. Do you do that at school or do you do that during the weekend? It's going to be straightforward, okay? If you hear soccer, it's during the weekend. If you hear math, it's going to be at school. So pay attention and please pretend you care, okay? Here it's the same. I'm going to have 4 sentences. I am on the end, I think, in fact, no, it's not 4 sentences. I'm going to read a text with the different activities happening. The first one, I call my friend. That's going to be A. Because we want to go out, that's going to be B. And then we're going to go to the mall. That's going to be C. And finally, we're going to watch a movie. That's going to be D. Okay? So listen to the text more than once. Okay? Pretend you care. And please make sure you answer the right question here. And do not guess, because if you guess, you're going to get it wrong, right? Because you know how that works. If you make one mistake here, well, in fact, if you make one mistake, you're going to lose 4 points. Because if this one is wrong, if here you put A, that means somewhere else where you were supposed to put A, you put something else. That means instead of it's here, you either get 8, 4, or 0. So I would spend some time on that. So when you spend 20 minutes on this entire test, on the test chapter 1, and I give you 90 minutes, well, I'm pretty sure you didn't spend enough time. Okay? And as you can tell, I'm not very happy about that. Then you're going to have a text to read. So you read it, you translate it, you make sure you understand it. All of the vocabulary is in the book. So if you open the book when you do the homework, and for this test, if you got under 90, you can use the book. So if you open your book, you're going to find the answer. Okay? So here, does he like, he doesn't like sport, blah, blah. You tell me if it's true or false. Take your time. If you rush, you're going to make mistake. I think you're going to have one like that too. It's going to be similar on the test. It's the same idea. Again, you read it, take your time, what's happening. Don't guess. If you guess, that means you don't know what you're talking about. So you translate the text until, or you keep working on your text until you know exactly what's happening. Okay? Then, oh, that's the best one. Culture. I told you at the beginning of the test that for the culture part, you need to read the green flash culture part through the chapter. I'm pretty sure maybe 1 or 2 of you did it. Okay? So culture, I'm going to repeat it. It's in the book. Don't guess. If you guess, you're going to get it wrong. Okay? It's in the book. You have in the book, if you ever opened it, you're going to see that on the side, you have some green little part. It's called flash culture. And then sometimes even in the middle, you may have 2 pages of culture. Well, read them. Okay? And guess what? It's not even in French. It's in English. This is what's frustrating to me, is that when you get the culture question wrong, I'm like, this is not that they didn't understand. They just didn't read it. Because the flash culture, it's written in English. Okay? So everybody should have 9 points here. Then it's vocabulary. Well, guess what, guys? If you don't know your vocabulary, there is nothing I can do for you. Okay? I mean, nothing I can do. Plus, again, for the test chapter 1, some of you asked, I told you to redo the test with the book. If you don't open the book and don't try to look at the vocabulary, nothing I can do. And just so you know, the vocabulary is at the end of the chapter. You have a part at the end of the chapter. I gave you the page on the beginning of the test. I gave you which page to review. And it's called Prépare-toi pour l'examen. Get ready for the test. And here you have all of the grammar you learn in the chapter and all of the vocabulary. Okay? So this is what you need to know. Okay? So you find it, you should not make mistake here. Okay? Then here you're going to have couple sentence to write. I think it's this one. Maybe it might be a little bit different, but let's say it's going to be something very similar. Here they ask you to write a sentence using and, but, and or. Okay? So I speak French and I speak English. I study. Please conjugate everything, because parler, it's not conjugated. Parler means to speak. So if you make a sentence, you don't say I to speak. You say I speak. And in French, when we conjugate, the ending is a little bit different. Again, that was in the lesson. Okay? So if you listen to the video I did during the lesson, if you watch it for 20 minutes, and then if you did the exercise properly, and if you open your book, you will know what I'm talking about. Okay? Thank you. So here you should have 12. Okay? Every time you're going to have a mistake, -3. You cannot make mistake. Okay. So that's amazing. I've seen that before with an indefinite article, which was un, une, des. I thought that was straightforward. When it's masculine, you use un. When it's feminine, you use une, U-N-E. When it's plural, you use des, D-E-S. I know it's plural if there is an S at the end of the noun or an X. I know it's masculine or it's feminine because I learned my vocabulary. So most of you just guessed. And that was kind of frustrating because I was like, there is nothing complicated, especially when you can use the book. So here, I don't know, vacances, I see a S at the end. What's that going to be? Masculine, plural, or feminine? I will say that's plural, okay? Etc., etc., etc. Please look at the lesson. Listen to the video. Everything is in the video, okay? So I am begging you, if you want to have a good grade from now on, you need to play the game because right now, some of you are not. Next, you're going to have to do something here where you're going to have to write a proper sentence. We study French at, where do you study French? At the mall, at the cafe, at school, at the swimming pool, at the park. They tell you, you have two things to do here. You need to use O, a, la, a, l apostrophe, and you need to use this word. Okay? So I don't know what to tell you. Answer properly. I like to do the store. Where do you like to go shopping? To the swimming pool? I would say to the mall, maybe. So, but that's here properly. Here, you're going to, I think it's going to be the same. You're going to have something to write to your friend, a short paragraph. You give the name of your friend, the age. Actually, you know what? For the writing part, most of you did pretty well because I can see you're moving between Google Translator and your test. So usually that's not too bad. Google Translator can help you here. Be smart about it because soon I'm going to take off point for Google Translator, okay? Especially when you use vocabularies and we haven't learned yet, okay? Just so you know, I know. Another thing to write, you need to write 3 things and to tell me where you do each of them, okay? I think it's going to be similar in the test. Bottom line, guys, if I spend time recording video for the lesson, giving you hint, if I spend time making quiz for you, matching what's in the book, it's because I want to prepare you for the test. But if you don't take it seriously, don't come crying and then having people, your parents telling me, oh, the class is too hard. I've been doing this class for 15 years. I never failed anybody yet. I cannot believe this year might be the year. Okay, so everybody who got under 90, you better have to, I really expect you to have a good grade. And again, you can use your book for this test and see where that brings us. Okay, so thank you so much. And I hope from now on, you're going to spend a little bit more time paying attention to what I'm saying and to what I recorded. Thank you. Bye. Have a good day.